The Memphis Tigers moving along. Ryan Silverfield, 7-6 last year, and the way that people talk about this team, you would think that they have really done some big things, but maybe not so much. Let's move on over to it. Post-game win expectancy was 6.64 and 5.36. So they went 6-6 in the regular season, won a big blowout bowl game. They were expected to go 7-5 in the regular season because of that 6.64. You round up, etc. You get the point. Returning production, number 66 in the country, number 53 on offense, number 85 on defense. Talent-wise, roster strength, they're number 5 in the conference, number 4 on offense, number 4 on defense. They lose some big-name pieces, right? Eddie Lewis, the wide receiver, the tight end, Caden Prescorn, the running back, Asa Martin. However, they do bring in Blake Watson. They do bring in Toski Dove, the wide receiver from Missouri. Blake Watson is from Old Dominion here. Let's start off with the offense, okay? Offense was pretty good in spots last season. Seth Hennigan is back. Tim Cramsey back. They lost their top 5 wide receivers. Can they replace those skill position players? They weren't super explosive last year, number 84 in offensive explosive rate. And the offense was not amazing. Blake Watson came in from Old Dominion. He was awesome at ODU for Ricky, Ronnie, and Bunch. Can he help the running game, along with having 64% of the returning offensive line snaps back? We'll see. The pieces are there. As far as defense goes, Matt Barnes returns as defense coordinator. Secondary was not good at all, number 97 PPA per pass allowed. The defensive line was able to stop the run. They were number 30 in PPA per rush. But they lost, 5 of the top 9 tackles for loss getters, however you want to call that. They brought in multiple P5 transfers on defense. The talent is on the roster. Can Barnes get everyone to gel in his 4-3 defense in year 2? That's the question for the defense. They were number 119 in the country in luck rank last year. Again, that is the typical, did the other team make an unexpected field goal? Did some other team convert 4th down for a touchdown when you didn't expect it? All that kind of stuff, right? So their luck was not great last year. But as far as fundamentals go, number 26 in turnover margin, number 9 in penalties per game, pretty good there. They are projected favorites in 10 games this year against this schedule. Not bad. But I personally have seen this team underperform before, so we'll look at it. Keys to the season here. It's a make-or-break year for Silverfield, I think. He's made a bowl in all 3 years as a head coach, but he's 21-15 in 3 seasons. Norvell was 38-15 in 4 seasons. So, yeah. And don't get me wrong. I mean, his first year was that COVID season, so obviously it's been a bit of a climb, but the football program not quite at the same level that it was under Mike Norvell. So you're hoping that this season is a chance to get back to that. The turnover margin penalties, I talked about that. Even with the fundamentals, they still only won 6 games. How does that happen? They need the incoming skill players to really click with Hennigan immediately because you're going to need this offense to do big things. That's the key to the season here. I've got this team going 8-4, so over the 7.5, which 7.5 is the win total, juiced at minus 160 to go over. It is plus 130 to go under over at BetUS. Plus 450 to win the conference. The schedule sets up really nicely, right? You got Bethune-Cookman Open at Arkansas State, so you got to go to Jonesboro. Navy comes in on a short week. That one's tricky. Then you get Missouri in St. Louis. You get Boise State at home on Saturday, September 30th. That's week 5. You get a bye week, and then you get Tulane at home. You get at UAB, at North Texas, USF, at Charlotte, SMU, and at Temple. I think this team is good enough to beat the best teams in the AAC. I think they are good enough to beat Boise State. I think they are also mid enough, I think, is what one of my kids call it. Mid. they are mid, so they could also lose to Navy and at North Texas and at Temple. So I expect some crazy results from this team this year, but I've got them going 8-4. The ceiling for this team, I've got 10-2. The floor, I've got 5-7. And I would almost guarantee that a change would be made if this team does not go bowling again. I will say that. thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Make sure and follow me on Twitter @GaryWCE. If you want to toss in a question, you can email me, Gary@winningcureseverything.com. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.